we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make sense.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Amadeus.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Amadeus.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, given to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
One of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of image.
So hello everyone, Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original QueenAShakur show. I'm your host, QueenAShakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. And if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know to exit stage left. Okay, you don't have to make an announcement. You don't have to complain about the topics. Just exit stage left. Okay, hey Shawana, Aeon's in the house. Buckhorse DC, Tange is here. Mr. Hotel, Christine, Kenyatta, Queen Fab, Courtney J, Miss Evie. All right, Reggie, I see you, beloved. Y'all son is here. All hell nah. Andrea said, looking beautiful, Queen. Thank you. Okay. Janelle is here. Shalavit is here. Hey, beloved. Cherie is here. Silent D. Dervish. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. All right. V. Maltzby is here. Nisi Q. Christine. Root Trackers. Okay. King Legina, I see you. Okay. Coco Marshmallows. Jamal is here. So let's get into it. Everyone, please get those likes up. You know they have a Queen Shadow Band on all of my channels. It's all so nefarious. Y'all need to make sure y'all get these likes up, honey, because they clearly be hating. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, let's get into it. Let me get this darn earpiece fixed. Hold on just a second. Princess the Hotep is in the house. Ethelene. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. So we have 2 lives to do this morning. Right after this one, we're going to do a video about Diddy. So I have an interview of one of the people who has accused Diddy of certain things, certain allegations. Okay, this is a police interview, and we're going to get into it. I want to shout out Tisa Tales because I actually saw her with the video first, and then I went and dug it up. Okay, I went and dug it right on up. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get into it. Hey, Nessie X. Nessie X in the house. Mr. Mystical Black Browns. Pissy Lola is here. Shawana. Okay, let's get into it because we got these. I have a myriad of stories to go through. Okay, please pay attention. Let me pull up the first receipt. First things first. You all remember the story about the little 10-year-old black boy who was arrested for urinating outside of the attorney's office where his mother was. Now, he apparently had been sitting out in the car and he had to use the bathroom. So he just, did it on the side of the road and the police officer saw him. Well, here's what happened. I mean, they arrested the child. Of course, it was to the officer's discrepancy. That wasn't really such a crime that he had to take a child, a 10-year-old, to jail. It would have been better to me if he had just reprimanded the boy, said, listen, you can't do that, whatever, and spoke to the mother. But no, he chose to take him to jail, and likely because the little kid is of my skin tone. I don't think they would have done that to Billy, Bob, or Brad. I just don't. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, this happened in Mississippi. Okay. The 10-year-old boy was taken to jail in Mississippi for urinating in public, and he was given 3 months probation. I want you all to pay attention. Now, they put a 10-year-old child on probation. Okay, do you see how this all works to demonize and vilify little children of my skin tone? This is what they do. Miss Hotel said, always making examples out of us. Yes, absolutely, beloved. This is all so nefarious. Hey, Neville. Andrea's in the house. Tasty Cake. So here's what they say. Everyone, please get those likes up. Okay, so they say he was put on probation 3 months and he must write a 2-page report on Kobe Bryant. Antonio, and this is attorney Carlos Moore, who's representing the boy's family, confirmed the information. Now, the incident occurred in August in Senatobia, Mississippi. The child was in the parking lot of a lawyer's office directly across from the Tate County Courthouse. Latoya Eason went into the law firm, asking for legal assistance, and while inside, a plainclothes Senatobia police detective saw the boy urinating in the parking lot near his mother's car. There was a no public restroom sign inside the courthouse, so there was no restroom to use inside of there. Senatobia Police Chief Richard Chandler stated in part that in this situation, an officer personally witnessed a 10-year-old child committing an act in public, which would have been illegal for an adult under the circumstances. The officer did not observe a parent or on the scene during the initial contact. Well, just because he didn't observe one, there was a car there that the child had been sitting in prior. He could have easily asked the child, "Where's your mother?" And since the law office was right there, common sense could have told him that that's likely where she was. But let me continue. So they say, according to the chief, Eason was located and told that her son was going to receive a youth court referral for the incident. He was taken to the police station, but was not handcuffed. So that makes it feel better because they didn't put him in handcuffs. You still put him in the back of a police car. You still took him to jail. But let me continue. The officer involved is no longer with Senatobia Police, though the chief has not said whether the officer was fired. Probably not. They don't fire them. They'll sometimes let them resign, if even that's why he's no longer there, because we don't know. The chief has previously called the case an error in judgments. Isn't that what they always say? Now, the family retained an attorney, and the incident has sparked calls from the community for accountability from the police departments. So my question is, why was it that he was told to write this report, a 2-page report about Kobe Bryant? What made the judge order him to write a report on Kobe? I have questions. Andrea said that baby's traumatized. Well, of course he is. And that's the whole point of why they do these things to little children who have my skin tone. That's absolutely why they do it, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, now listen to this. This is all nefarious too. So here's the thing. Colorado parents are furious after their 11-year-old daughter went on a trip with the school and she was forced to sleep in the bed with a biological boy who said that he identifies as a girl, so a transgender child. And this was an overnight school trip. Now, the parents didn't know anything about this, even though the parents were on the trip too. They didn't know that this was going on until the daughter called them. They said that the daughter was traumatized. Okay, so let me pull up these receipts. It's all nefarious. Like, sub, everyone, please like and share. Okay, I'm going to share the news report.
Action from the school district after they say their 11-year-old daughter was assigned to share a hotel bed with a transgender student on an overnight school trip.
They say it made her uncomfortable and they want something done. Kim Posey speaking to the family today, seeking a response from Jeffco schools too. Kim?
Yeah, and today the Wales family sent a letter to Jeffco Public Schools asking for transparency about rooming policies and options for parents. Trip to Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia happened over the summer. Joe and Serena Wales say their 11-year-old daughter was assigned a hotel room with 3 other students.
Her bedmate informed her that he was a boy who identifies as transgender.
Serena says she was also on the trip and her daughter called her from the bathroom.
She actually got along really well with the other student, but just felt uncomfortable with the idea of being in bed with a biological boy.
Serena says she and her daughter met with a chaperone and were told they were not allowed to discuss the issue with anyone else. Eventually, the other child was moved to a different room with one of the other girls. But these parents want action from Jefferson County Public Schools.
For me, is really frustrating.
According to the family's attorney with the Alliance Defending Freedom, the district policy states that students who identify as the opposite sex should be assigned to share overnight accommodations with other students that share the student's gender identity consistently asserted at school. Attorney Kate Anderson says parents should be informed and given a chance to opt out of a room assignment like this ahead of time.
It'd be very easy to do this confidentially by providing this policy to parents and letting them work things out ahead of time, who their kids are going to room with, without revealing anybody's identity or who's going to be scheduled into the rooms ahead of time. They could just let parents know and let them opt out of it ahead of time.
Now, the U.S. Department of Education says schools are required to protect the privacy of transgender students and not to discriminate. I have reached out to the Jeffco Public Schools multiple times today for a response and have not yet heard back. Kim Posey, Fox 31.
This is all crazy as far as I'm concerned. The parents should have been notified, okay, prior to the trip, if that's what their plans were. You don't get to decide who my child sleeps with. Okay, when they have other parts, like sit down somewhere. Okay, as far as I'm concerned. Now, here's a part 2 to that conversation.
11-year-old Colorado girl was assigned to share a bed with a boy who identifies as a transgender girl while on a cross-country school trip. The girl was terrified, as you can imagine, called her mother for help. That girl's parents are demanding answers from the public school system. Tim, what kind of trauma is the transgender masquerade going to cause that little girl, do you think?
Well, you know, for every little girl who is in a sporting event, in a school bathroom, a school shower, school locker room that has a biological male come in, they're going to be traumatized. And this is the kind of woke ideology, we used to call this evil, that has to be opposed. And as Christians, we have to stand up against this kind of evil and protect our kids.
Honey, whatever you do not want to get the Bible thumpers upset. Okay? You heard the language that he was using. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. But anyway, I digress. And so with that all being said, I find it all very interesting and quite frankly nefarious, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so now listen to this. A woman had her money seized, okay? She went to get her $5,000 student loan refund and the bank accused her of fraud. And what bank was this? Well, I'm so glad you asked. It was Chase Bank. They seized the woman's money. Let's not forget that Chase was built on the backs of your ancestors, okay? Because this was slave money funded, okay? Just so you know, they got this money to open Chase from money that they generated from the slave trade. So let's talk about it. I feel like a criminal. Chase Bank seizes Atlanta woman's $5,000 student loan, and then accuses her of fraud and shuts down the accounts. Now the woman is now in debt because the over $5,000 that she planned to pay bills with has been frozen, and the bank is refusing to give her money back until an investigation is complete. This is all low down and dirty, honey. $5,000 isn't even a whole bunch of money. See, the reason they get mad when they do these things is because, first of all, they do it when it's a black person. For some reason, they get suspicious. But second, it's because they loan out your money. That's what they do. And then if you don't give them like a few days ahead of time, because some of these banks want you to tell them, like, give them like 42 hours in some cases, or 72 hours in some cases, 48 to 72 hours to let them know that you're going to be withdrawing certain amounts of money. So anyway, they go on to say that according to Lois White, she used her mobile device to deposit a $5,298 check from the U.S. government for student loan relief into her Chase Bank account. The check also included a portion from the treasurer for overpayments that she had previously made. Now, she had hoped to use the money to pay off bills, but the financial institution thought the deposit was fake and put not only a fraud hold on the check, but also on her bank account. She was unable to spend or withdraw any of her money. She said, "I feel like a criminal when I've done nothing wrong." But she didn't. It was an actual check from the government, but an issue came up that set off alarms for the bank. They say apparently they couldn't verify the check was real after paying off her federal student loan for the last 2 decades. And so recently she said she qualified for the nation's one-time loan forgiveness program and said, "Congratulations, your student loan has been forgiven." And this is what the letter said that she received. And more than 800,000 other Americans received the same email. Now the same letter. She says, "They sent me a letter in the mail saying that my loan was forgiven. Thank you, God." Now, White sought written confirmation and the loan servicer's copy of the deposited check. She said, "I went to the branch. I gave them this letter. I gave them this check, gave them my ID, my birth certificate, social security card." Who's going to be doing all of this, providing all of this information and receipts if they're doing something fraudulent? Still, despite providing these, Chase refused to unfreeze her account or release the funds. Chase released a statement about White's account saying they are currently investigating the veracity of her claim. "We are working with our customer and the United States Treasury to verify any funds she is due." This is what a representative from the bank said. Now, here's the thing. How long does it take them to verify a check from the government? How long? Now, White says that her life is a shell of what it once was. She says, "I'm devastated." She admitted that because this is the first time that she has not been able to pay bills on time, this resulted in her losing her home. I'm like couch surfing right now. This is all crazy. President Joe Biden, despite facing GOP opposition, persists in prioritizing student loan debt cancellation. cancellation. Following the Supreme Court's June rejection of his initial plan to forgive up to $20,000 for nearly 40 million federal student loan borrowers, Biden proposed a committee involving stakeholders from higher education, loan servicers, and borrowers. Utilizing negotiated rulemaking, the committee aimed to develop a new forgiveness plan. The final phase discussion of the new proposal started Monday, December the 11th, and continued until Tuesday, December the 12th. This is all crazy. So this woman still doesn't have her money. Let me just put her picture up on the screen because this is a woman of my skin tone. This is what they're out here doing. I just want you all to pay attention. This is Chase Bank. Chase Bank. So anyway, moving right along. Now, Alabama, clearly nefarious. They have $450 million that they made annually from convict leasing, forcing prisoners of my skin tone to work at fast food chains. And y'all thought slavery ended? Think again. All right. A group of current and former Alabama prisoners filed a federal lawsuit Tuesday saying that they were forced into a modern-day form of slavery by working at fast food chains for next to nothing. Now, the complaint, which seeks class action certification, alleged that the prisoners have been trapped in a system of convict leasing in which incarcerated people are forced to work, often for little or no money, all while Alabama and its corporate partners reap millions in profits. And I want you all to pay attention because these same prisoners who they convict lease out here and have them working at these establishments, I guarantee you, when those same people get out of prison, they're not even going to want to hire them because they'll be convicted felons. So just think about that. Now, inmates, according to the complaint, live in a constant danger of being murdered, stabbed, or the R word. That is so profound that the federal government has sued Alabama for inflicting cruel and unusual punishment. And if they refuse to work, the state punishes them even more. The plaintiff said that they are regularly forced to work at McDonald's, KFC, Wendy's, and Burger King franchises, Anheuser-Busch distributors, and meat processors. The 129-page complaint alleges it is no accident that the people caught in the labor trafficking scheme are Black, comparing it to like individuals who were enslaved and forced to work Alabama's cotton fields, and those forced to participate in the sharecropping and convict leasing schemes that followed the end of the Civil War. The complaint noted that while 26.8% of Alabama's population identifies as Black or African American, double that percentage comprises the Black incarcerated population. Well, no surprise there. So I just want you all to pay attention. Also low down and dirty. They made $450 million per year doing this. But let me continue. And so this story here is real crazy. So some fourth graders actually got exposed to fentanyl. Now they say it came from somebody's house and fourth grade students were exposed to it and 2 people were arrested. Clifford Dugan and Nicole Sanders. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. This is just so reckless. How do these people even have kids when they're doing this kind of stuff? Why would you even have it in your home, period?
Issues impacting Virginia's schools and students. We are starting in Amherst County, where several children are recovering after eating gummies exposed to fentanyl. Today, we learned that 2 people were arrested in connection to the crime. Those suspects are on your screen right now. Clifford Dugan Jr. and Nicole Sanders are both charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. We have live team coverage as we cover all angles of this story. Isabel Ladon will join us in just a moment after talking to the school division superintendent and a parent of one of the children impacted.
But first, we go to Patsy Montesinos, who has the latest on the investigation after hearing from law enforcement.
The sheriff's office told us what happened yesterday at the elementary school. We also learned what the relationship is between the people arrested and the kid who brought the gummies to school. In a shocking incident at Central Elementary School on Tuesday, 7 fourth-grade students were exposed to fentanyl.
The fentanyl didn't just show up at school. The fentanyl came from somebody's house.
Amherst County school officials say a student shared gummy bears with 6 other students during school lunch. The kids started having symptoms like nausea, headaches, and muscle spasms. 5 of them were taken to the hospital.
Law enforcement tested the gummies and they tested negative for foreign substance. However, when they tested the residue in the bag, the field test indicated a positive response for fentanyl.
Police believe the bag got contaminated either at home or on the way to school. Nicole Sanders and Clifford Dugan have been charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. School officials tell WDBJ7 they are the caregivers of the child who brought the gummies to school.
We are taking this case very seriously. These are our children that go to school, and we want to make sure that we do our due efforts to be able to bring those to justice who need to come to justice.
Authorities say a sibling brought a second bag of gummies which tested negative. They believe all of this was unintentional, as the child who brought the gummies also ate them.
The fentanyl was contained to the bag, and we did not have any indication the fentanyl was on additional surfaces in the building, but we did go ahead and clean the building this morning just to make sure everything was clean.
The sheriff's office says it's still an ongoing investigation and more charges could come. Reporting in Amherst County, Patsy Montesinos, WDBJ7.
Yes, throw them in jail. Why would they have something like that in their home when they have children in the home? Not even the other people's children, but their own children as well. Okay, and then you have it in the form of gummy worms. And then you all have seen the fentanyl that has like the little Skittles-like colors and looks very much so like candy. This is also ridiculous. Yeah, please put them in jail. That's where they belong, clearly. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much. Okay. Now let's talk about this couple who kept their 6-year-old in a cage while they went to work. This is all crazy. Florida couple charged with child abuse, locked 6-year-old son in cage while they went to work. Let me show you their faces. That's them right there. That's them. Okay, so now here's what it says. A Florida couple has been charged with child abuse and neglect after they allegedly locked their 6-year-old child in a cage while they went to work. This is absolutely disastrous. What if the house had caught on fire? What if someone broke in? There was a home invasion. This is all crazy. Now, Dustin Huff, age 35, and Yuru Z, age 31, were both employees at the University of Florida. Okay, according to the Independent Florida Alligator, which said that Huff was a biological scientist in the school's horticulture sciences department, and Z was the plant pathology department safety manager. I'm sorry, what now? A safety manager? And here's the thing. They have good jobs. So you mean to tell me they couldn't afford daycare? Why wasn't the child in school? He is 6. I have a whole bunch of questions. They've both been charged with 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of child neglect. The 2 are UF graduates and were ordered off all school property on Monday and placed on administrative leave. Now, the station said the couple was arrested on Friday when the 6-year-old told a school official he didn't want to go home because he didn't want to be put back in his cage. Lord have mercy. Treating the child like a darn dog. Huff told detectives that the boy does not sleep in a cage and called the enclosure a bed frame. He showed it to the officers, who described it as a large, unsanded wooden enclosure that looked like a makeshift cage. So they try to act like, oh, this is just a bed frame. I know it probably looks like a cage, but no, that's not what it is. The child told the Department of Children and Family Services that he was kept in the enclosure at night until 7 a.m. Now, when it was time to get ready for school, Z would put him back in it when he got home from school, and then she would leave the house. What kind of life is this? Like, this really just ticks me off, for real. Z said that she would take a break from work to meet her son and put him in the enclosure. He would be inside for a few hours before Huff arrived at home. The couple told investigators they'd been using the enclosure for a year. Z told the officers that her son has ADHD, was disobedient, and that they'd been unable to secure childcare for him because of his behavior. Now, the officers found a second similar enclosure in a closet in the master bedroom that was used for a second child. So both of their children have ADHD, because otherwise, what's the reason for this one? The officer said that both enclosures had springs and rails that could hurt the children. When I tell you, some people do not deserve children. They need to put these fools under the jail. But if y'all thought that was bad, please wait, because there is more. And this is really sick. Now, this story really got under my skin. I absolutely cannot deny it. The sickening moment: cops find skeletal boy, 8 years old, beaten and starved to death in his Illinois home, where there was a sign on the door said, "Do not give Navin any food." This is absolutely heartbreaking and deplorable. It is absolutely heartbreaking and deplorable that someone would do this to an innocent child. Beaten and starved to death, and a sign on the door said, "Do not give him any food." Now, the sign was for his older brother. An Illinois boy was found beaten and starved at his home before he tragically died in the hospital. He had a sign on his bedroom door that read, "Don't give Nathan any food." Nathan Jones was 8 years old and found unresponsive in a skeletal and emaciated state at his Peoria home on March the 29th of 2022. His father now faces up to life in prison if convicted of first-degree murder, while his mom already pleaded guilty to the heinous crime. The little boy weighed just 30 pounds and was found in a locked room that was covered in urine and feces. He had signs of physical abuse across his face, body, arms, and legs. This is all so sad. This is all so sad. A note on Navin's bedroom door said, "Don't give him any food or drink. Do not let him out of the room. He has what he needs until I wake up." Oh, this is so sad. Let me share my screen so you all can see the condition this poor child was in. This is horrific. Absolutely horrific. Hold on. This is all so darn sad. Now, this is the sign that was on his door to his brother, Bentley. Bentley, "Do not give Navin any food or drinks. Do not," with underlined and capitalized, pay attention, "let him out of the room. He has what he needs till I wake up." This is the little boy right here. Look how frail he is. Barely clinging to life. Lord have mercy. This is absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. But let me show you this is him right here. Bless his little heart. That's him right there when he was younger. Awful. Here are the devils who did it to him. Here are the devils who did it right here. They need to be, I'm not even going to say what needs to happen to them. This is them right here. Now, apparently, this is the rope that they used on his door. His door didn't even have a doorknob on it. They used a rope on his door, probably to tie it shut. This is the bed that he slept in, filthy mattress, no covers, dirty dogs. This is a closet where they found urine and feces. That's clearly what they made him go to their restroom in. Just all sick. And then here she is sitting up there crying. I want you all to pay attention, because when they got caught and busted, they sat there and cried. They sat there and cried and pretended they actually cared. Talking about, "Oh, this can't be true." Knowing good and well they did this to the child. But let me continue. This is absolutely deplorable. And so here's what they say. Prosecutors, hold on, let me find my place. I'm going to show you all a video in a moment where the father was in court with his low down self. Prosecutors said the boy's room was disgusting and deplorable, with just a bed and one toy, while the rest of the home on North Gale Avenue was well furnished with a fully stocked fridge and pantry, but yet he's in there starving. His mother, Stephanie Jones, age 37, faces at least 20 years in prison when she is sentenced next February. Now, in return for her guilty plea, state's attorney Jody Hughes agreed not to give her a life sentence. I would have given her a life sentence. I would have told her your guilty plea will help you avoid the death penalty. but you're going to get life with no parole. That's what I would have negotiated. Now, Jones has now agreed to testify against the boy's father, Brandon Walker, age 41. His trial is currently ongoing. Body cam footage has since revealed the moment that Peoria police showed up to the Jones and Walker home after Jones called 911 to report Navin was cold and lifeless. Officers in the clip immediately take issue with Jones's story and the state of the boy's body. Stephanie, the mother, is seen sitting on the steps of the home, crying into her hands while smoking a cigarette. Just slow down. Hold on, beloveds. Pop-ups. When the father is told that there is a chance the boy cannot be resuscitated, Brandon runs to the car, smashes his fist on the hood, and shouts, "There's no effing way!" Like he really cared. Only thing they were concerned about is going to prison for the rest of their lives. They didn't care about this poor child. They couldn't have. Nobody would have done that. Body cam inside the home showed the clutter, but also the bare room that Navin had been living in. Rope used to keep his door shut was visible, as was a note written to his older brother by one of the parents saying not to feed Navin. Before being in the care of his mother and father, Navin was being looked after by his legal guardian, who was his grandmother, Laura Walker. But here's what happened. She had to go out of town. Okay, she had been keeping him since he was 5 months old. So clearly they'd always been mistreating this poor child, because why did the grandmother have guardianship over him? But briefly, she went to Washington in July of 2021 for a funeral. Now, she asked them to keep him until she got back. But when she came back, they wouldn't give him back to her. In an attempt to get the boy back under her watch, Laura Walker contacted the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. The Washington Police Department was also contacted, and the Peoria Department. But nobody did anything. Nothing changed despite her efforts. The system failed this poor child. The system failed this poor child. That's what that was. DCFS investigated Laura Walker's claims, but said that her allegations were unfounded. In February of 2022, an anonymous tip led DCFS to visit the home. Navin was observed to be sickly, thin, and small. So why didn't they remove him then? Well, because Navin told the caseworker that he wanted to stay with his parents. And so they noted that he was safe. Didn't dawn on them that because he looked sickly and he was so thin and small for his age, it didn't dawn on them that maybe Navin was coerced, threatened into saying that. Because that's what parents do when they're abusive. They will tell the child, threaten them. You better not tell them what's going on. You better say this, you better say that. That's how that works. Just over a month later, on March the 29th, Navin was found unresponsive. Stephanie, his mother, told cops that she put the boy in the shower when she noticed he wasn't breathing. Navin later died that day in the hospital. Detective Roberto Vasquez, who attended the scene, said the smell coming from the little boy's room was unlike anything he'd ever smelled before. There were no sheets or blankets on his bed. His bedroom door did not have a doorknob, and instead there was a rope to keep it closed. In court, forensic pathologist Amanda Humans, who performed Navin's autopsy, said that the little boy had lost the layer of fat under his skin and showed signs of chronic malnutrition. And this led him to go into cardiac arrest, because that's what happens. Due to all of the trauma, the malnutrition, the muscles, the fat leaving the body, and all of that, he went into cardiac arrest. That's why he died. All of this was triggered by starvation. Navin would have had limited mobility before his death. This is what the forensic pathologist said, because his muscles had atrophy. The boy was also covered in bruises, including on his wrist, consistent with being restrained, that had caused blunt force trauma. Shocking text messages between Jones and Walker, seized in October 2021, showed in the grand jury testimony, showed Walker wanting to put the boy in the basement because he had peed on the wall. Well, if you only had him being able to pee in a closet, why are you mad because he got some on the wall? This is awesome. Ooh, this is all so egregious. I'm going to the video where the father's in court.
First tonight in the courtroom. Today is day 2 of Brandon Walker's first-degree murder trial. The Peoria County man is accused of fatally neglecting his son, Nathan Jones, leading to his death in March of 2022. WMBD's Durante Matthews was in the courtroom all day today. So, Durante, tell us what you learned.
Yeah, Rebecca, it was definitely a tough day in the courtroom, especially to be a viewer. A lot of graphic images and silent emotion. After opening statements, prosecutors showed evidence that they say will prove that 41-year-old Brandon Walker's mistreatment, intentional mistreatment that is, and negligence led to his son's Nathan's death earlier last year. While Walker's attorney, on the other hand, says Nathan's mother, Stephanie Jones, is to blame. She recently pleaded guilty to murder charges, and he says she's the, quote, murderer in this case. Now, evidence today included testimonies from police, first responders who were there minutes and hours after Nathan's death, including those people who knew Brandon Walker well, also medical professionals. Now, images shown today, definitely unsettling, showed the bare state of Nathan's bedroom, his feces-stained closet with a lock on it, a sign on his door written to his older brother saying not to feed him, rope where his doorknob should be, and photos of him the day he died showing a completely skeletal 8-year-old that we're not showing on TV. Now, Walker's attorney said the parents couldn't get him medical care because they weren't his legal guardians, while prosecutors put a nurse practitioner on the stand who said that Walker and Jones gave Nathan's brother medical attention, taking him to the doctor, and they didn't have legal guardianship of him either. A forensic pathologist says Nathan died from chronic malnutrition and abuse.
He appeared to be cachectic or emaciated, very thin and frail. He had loss of all the fat underneath his skin. It's referred to as subcutaneous fat, and he had diffuse muscular atrophy. This was to the point that I could see the bones visible through his skin. He also was covered in many wounds.
Now, also on the stand today, Brandon Walker's mother, Laura Walker, who was Nathan's grandmother and also his legal guardian at the time of his death. Now, we couldn't film her, but she actually broke down on the stand crying, describing the state Nathan was when she saw him in the hospital, saying he didn't look human. Now, she says that in the summer of 2021, she briefly left Nathan with his parents while she went to Florida for a couple of days to see her sick mother. And when she came back, the parents wouldn't give him back, and she reached out to DCFS and police and child services, and no one would help her. Day 3 of the trial continues tomorrow, where we're expected to hear more testimony and witnesses from both the state and then the defense as well. For now, live in downtown Peoria, Durante Matthews,
That is just absolutely egregious. Low down, dirty devils. But let me continue. Now let's talk about Nicki Minaj. You all remember what Nicki Minaj said about the venom. You all remember that, what she said about the venom, and got her into a bit of controversy. So now she addresses those controversial comments about the venom. She said, "I like to make my own assessment." Nicki Minaj addressed her 2021 statements on the venom and credited her remarks to her independence in decision making. And so she briefly talked about this, and she basically said that at the time, or hold on. She said, they said that she knows firsthand how a celebrity's opinion can become headline news, as Nicki faced international backlash 2 years ago for expressing her skepticism about the venom. Now, at the time, Minaj took to Twitter, or X, to share an alleged venom experienced by her cousin's friend, who reportedly became impotent after the use. She said, "My cousin in Trinidad won't get the venom because his friend got it and became impotent." Remember, that was one of the comments that she posted, amongst others. Said his friend was weeks away from getting married. Now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision and not bullied. Well, I agree. Don't let people bully you into doing stuff, because that's what they did in many cases, and some people fell for it. You can't bully me into doing a darn thing. That's what you can't do. Now, however, her initial venom remarks became a trending topic on major news networks and even prompted Trinidad and Tobago's health minister, Terrence Dayalsing, to issue a public statement saying there was absolutely no reported such side effects or adverse effects of testicular swelling in Trinidad. Because remember, she said the guy's testicles had swollen up. So now, looking back on the incident, Minaj explained her stance when it comes to handling public issues that impact the masses. She said, I'm one of those people who doesn't go with the crowd. This is what she told Vogue when recalling her incident or her initial stance on the venom. She said, I like to make my own assessment of everything without help from anyone. I know that's right, Nicki. You better tell them. Okay. She also never publicly supported a presidential candidate. Also, they bring this up. And I want you to pay attention, because why would they mention that? Oh, that's right. Because they get Cardi B to go out there and talk to Biden and Bernie Sanders. Okay. And who's ever running at the time. Said she's also never publicly supported a presidential candidate and tends to remain mum during elections, which is a sensitive topic that she knows could get her into trouble. She says, every time I talk about politics, people get mad. I'm sorry, but I am not going to be told who I should get on social media and campaign for. You better preach, Nicki. See, this is why I like Nicki Minaj, and I don't care what y'all say. Now, she said there's a lot that we don't know that's going on in the government. And I don't think it changes whether you lean left or right. Preach. Okay, can I get an amen, honey? She's right. She's absolutely right. And y'all sit there and believe this nefarious government if you want to. Okay, if you want to. They've already recanted and gone back and backpedaled on several things they've said pertaining to the venom. The CDC included. But let me continue. Now, with that all being said, Tesla, and I find this all very interesting, Tesla had a recall. Yeah, deadly autopilot crashes lead to Tesla's recall of 2 million vehicles. And I find it so interesting, especially since that movie, Leave the World Behind. You remember that part where they showed all the Teslas on autopilot crashing and just, blocking the highway and all that? Y'all remember that? Y'all don't think this is all nefarious? Y'all don't find this all nefarious that the Teslas are being recalled, 2 million of them, because the autopilot feature crashes? Y'all don't find that suspicious? And in that movie, they had the same thing happening. All those Teslas kept crashing because the autopilot feature failed during the so-called cyber attack. Y'all don't find that suspicious? Y'all didn't also find it suspicious yesterday when I told you the story about how those pamphlets were being dropped with a cryptic message written in Arabic, telling the people about a flood and all of that? Y'all didn't find that suspicious? But let me continue. So here's what they say. Tesla is recalling more than 2 million cars sold in the U.S. due to issues with its autopilot software system. According to multiple reports, by the way, the electric car company will update the system to make sure that drivers are paying adequate attention when their vehicles are engaged in the autopilot function. Now, the recall was disclosed in a letter by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to the car company regarding its ongoing probe related to accidents in which drivers were using autopilot. Among the models recalled, according to the letter, are Model 3 2017 to 2023, Model S 2012 to 2023, Model X to 2016 to 2023, and Model Y 2020 to 2023. I don't even know why people are still buying these cars. I mean, didn't they have an issue with them catching on fire not that long ago? Of course they did. Yeah, of course they did. And so anyway, just let people just keep on believing the nefariousness of it all. I'm going to have questions. Now, last but not least, because I got to roll out of here. The next video is about to start. I'm not going to get to go through all of these stories. Hold on, let me see. 1, 2, 3. I have 2 more stories, I think. I actually have like 3 more stories, but I'm only going to do 2. The next one I'll save for tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk about this woman who says that the bank told her they didn't have cash. Please pay attention. Woman left shocked when her bank said they don't keep cash anymore. That's what they told her. We don't keep cash. This is a bank. What are you talking about, cash? Nobody comes to a bank to get cash, lady. Why would we ever have that? Make it all make sense. The experience of visiting a bank and being told that cash withdrawals are no longer available can be quite surprising, as the woman discovered firsthand. we're all used to going to the banks and taking out cash or availing other banking services whenever required. However, imagine one day going to your bank and being told that you will not be provided cash as they have stopped this particular service. Didn't I tell you all this is going to happen? Didn't I tell you all 3 years ago this was going to happen? Didn't I say it? Thank you, that crazy bitch Eric says Queen looks amazing. Thank you. Didn't I tell y'all this in 2020? And I've told you that before numerous times. That they're going to start talking about they don't have any cash at the ATMs. They don't have any cash at the banks. I told y'all. Digital currency is the thing. And that's going to be a way to track every dime that you make, every penny that you move. And how are you going to tip the homeless or, give money to the homeless that are panhandling or whatever? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? Oh, that's right. In the United States, we don't care about the homeless, do we? No, they don't. But let me continue. So it goes on to say, you'll be surprised that that's what happened to Taryn Compton, and she couldn't believe it. One of the biggest banks in Australia changed its policy and stopped keeping cash at the counter. If anyone has to take out money, they have to use ATMs. They're not going to be giving cash out there either pretty soon. Pay attention. Now, but this wasn't an issue for the customers. It was the fact that they were notified about the change by their bank report. This is all crazy. Taryn, who goes by @basketballmama, wanted to renovate her house and urgently needed $3,500 cash. She narrates in a video what happened when she went to the bank for her money. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. Hold on. Okay, I'm about to show the video. Hold on. I had to go to the video. Hold on. I'm going to show her TikTok. This is all nefarious. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share.
I am getting some renos done at home and I needed $3,500 cash. So I went to the bank, but I didn't have my physical card. I thought, oh, that's fine. I'll just go to the teller. The teller proceeds to tell me they don't have cash in the bank anymore. You can only get it out through the ATM. But she said, don't worry, I'll set your card up so you can just tap it in place of your card. I said, oh, okay, great. Anyway, she'd done her bit on the computer and she came with me to the teller to make sure everything was fine. And it just kept giving an error message. It wouldn't even let me get to the point to put my PIN in. When I tapped it, it just gave this error message. And she said, I'm really sorry, there's nothing we can do. I was like, what do you mean? I need to get my money out of my bank account. And she was like, yeah, really sorry. Like, we don't carry cash here. She said, if you've got another bank you can transfer your money to, you can try it with them. Luckily for me, I am with another bank. So I transferred every single penny out of that account, closed the account while I was there, and went and got my money out at another bank. But it just got me thinking about our banking system and where we're at, and how the hell can you go to a bank and not access your own money?
Yeah, exactly. Make that make sense. Okay. Now, December said that if the hold on, let me go back to that comment. December said when the system gets hacked and goes down, we're going to need cash to move around. Yeah, I already told you all about that. When I was talking about your lifelines numerous of times. I've told you all. If the system gets hacked, because anything, that's on the internet and things like that, those things can get hacked, just like those cars, Teslas, okay? So if it does get hacked, yeah, you will need cash, but if they don't have cash available, you won't have it. So here's what we'll have to do. We'll have to barter amongst ourselves. I told you all that. That's the plan. We're going to have to barter amongst ourselves. And if you think about that movie, Leave the World Behind, isn't that what they were doing? I mean, they went to Kevin Bacon, or Danny, the character, to get that medicine for the son. But at the end of the day, he did take the money that they had because they had cash. Now, just imagine if they didn't have cash and none of the digital services were working, like, Cash App, Zelle, Venmo. None of that was working at the time. So if you didn't have cash, what would you have to do? And remember, his character, Danny, said, well, I knew the bartering system was going to have to kick in or something like that, to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. But he said something about it. And I've been telling you all that. This is all nefarious. Okay, so now let's talk about Jason Lee. Jason Lee out here threatening Beyonce that he's going to spill all the tea that he has on her and Jay-Z. Now, personally, I think that whatever he knows is something about Jay-Z, just from the response of the people who he was telling this information to, because they bleeped it out so you couldn't hear what he was saying. But I just want you all to take a look at this video. Jason Lee, I didn't know you were so nefarious, beloved. I absolutely didn't know, but let me continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
And include other Black leaders in the culture in the fold. I mean, not just take me out of it. The Breakfast Club, I mean, you should have honored and brought more Black. And I spent thousands of over $40,000 in tickets and shared the experience with friends. And I've done a lot, and I'm not even going to say it here, because if I did, this internet, Beyonce's good internet, would go crazy. I'm going to tell them while Johnny puts a beep over this part of the show, so you'll never know what it is, but I want you to see their reactions, and I'm going to do it right now. Ooh. And that's where I go back to, like, we're friends in the game. We support each other. We help each other out. Can you imagine had I put that on Hollywood Law? Oh, there was one more thing. Beat this, Johnny.
Woo!
So that in itself, I think Beyonce could have gave me a, you know what I mean? Like, there should be a little love there. Now,
Maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce. And they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows. I got the receipts. I still have the receipts. Yvette, no, I got the receipts. I got them. Now, if I get that message to Beyonce,
yes,
I can get it to I'm connected. I could get the message to Beyonce.
She needs to know.
And I think people like her publicist, who I love, and I'm just being critical. That's just what I do. You know that, Yvette. We're trying to book Kelly Rowland right now. Now, if I don't get Kelly Rowland because I say this about, then it's going to be a problem. Then I'm putting out receipts. The receipts I just told you about, then I'll put those out.
The fires that will come of that.
I ain't worried. I ain't going nowhere. I'm telling you right now, I'm not playing this industry game. Optically.
Jason Lee is clearly nefarious. Neon Black said Ace whooping coming soon, honey. That's what I'm saying, honey. He must not know who Jay-Z is, honey. Because whatever he has, whatever information, I guarantee you it's about Jay-Z. Because that's why he said Beyonce doesn't know. But I got connections. I can get this to Beyonce. Honey, I would advise you to stand down, or you might be a man down. That's all I'm saying, honey. You might want to stand down, Jason Lee, or you might be a man down. Because I mean, don't you know about Jay-Z? This is all messy. Queen Sam said, and messy queen. Okay, this is all nefarious. Miss Eva said, this is so messy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. Twisting Logic said he better stay away from bathtubs. You already know, honey. How many people be out here running their mouth and end up drowned in the bathtub and so-called what do they call it? A accidental OD. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Danielle says 6 foot under. Okay, please keep your mouth shut, Jason Lee. All right, honey, it's not that serious about these interviews. If somebody don't want to interview with you, just let it go. With that all being said, I have 2 minutes for the next broadcast, so I'm going to roll up out of here. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. I hope to see you in the next live. If not, remember, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. Always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. And listen, there's 578 people in this live chat. 578 people. So please make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already before you leave. All right, the next video is about to start. So hopefully I will see you on the next chat. This is going to be explosive. Y'all don't want to miss it. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to be showing video footage of a police interview of a man who claims that he was involved in those FOs that Diddy and Cassie were having. Now, this is alleged because I don't know if he was telling the truth, but I tell you what I do know. Some of the stuff he said is some of the same stuff Cassie said. So let's get into it. All right. See you all in the next video. Till next time, beloveds. Peace.
Hey, yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got